This episode of the Off-Road Podcast is sponsored by Colby Valve.
Off-Road Podcast 450, live Moab planning with Josh.
Tonight, Aaron uses some zip ties, Coy gets fresh chowder, Ben rocks out, and Josh winds up a window.
Welcome to the Off-Road Podcast, a podcast about everything off-road. We cover the news, review products, and interview people in the off-road industry. Your hosts tonight are Aaron, Josh, and my name is Coy. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show, Josh. It's good to have you back.
Hey, it's good to be back.
It's like it's almost like we're in the same area. I just feel so connected with you right now.
I know, it's just such a cozy room. I'm glad we really finally came together for these podcasts.
Those cookie cutter houses.
Yeah.
They all look the same.
Doing them across the country now.
What have you been up to, Josh, since we haven't had you on the show since fall? Let's You don't have to tell us everything you've done since fall.
Everything.
But like
day one.
A general idea.
Well, still breaking stuff and fixing stuff. On the Nissan. And but yeah, same old. So
you just had a pretty sweet wheeling trip.
Yeah, we went down to Kentucky last weekend. It was a pretty good time. Had a couple of close calls near the edge of right there, where it was all washed out by the river. Call. So yeah, I made it across first. You'll see my truck up there in the front, and then my buddy Matt decided he would stay a little bit farther away from the edge, and that tree wanted to hug him. So
yeah, he's
we got him out of there eventually.
Intimate. Did he break a window?
No, the window is not broken, but the third guy in our convoy decided he was not going to cross that anymore because by the time we got the second Nissan across, the road was even narrower because it kept crumbling in a little bit. So,
yeah,
but it was okay. We met back up about 5 hours later when we finally found our way out of the trail. So it was a good trip.
I would, there was no like road close signs or anything, Josh?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
They don't do that here and on the East Coast. Maybe that's a West Coast thing. They like warn you of upcoming danger. Here they just say, come on in and leave it up to you.
We got a saying like when the ground cracks, 30 seconds max, but you guys are just like when the ground cracks, just send it. Don't be silly.
Send it. Well, he tried, but then that tree decided it wasn't. So, I think if he had his way about it.
It's probably a good thing that tree was there because it looks like it's a long way down on that side as well.
Yes, it would. Yes, it was. Yeah, so I stuck half a tire out over the area that was all broken, which is probably equally as stupid. And he decided to stay toward the tree side, which is fine, though, because his wife was on that side of the car. So.
I bet she had some words for him when they were done.
She had such a wonderful time that day.
Yeah. I want to congratulate you also on this picture for not winning the photo cover contest in that Nissan group.
I know. I worked so hard. I was posting things. I was like, come on, everybody, let's do this. There was 40,000 members of that page, and we got 20 votes. Excellent participation percentage there. And we were winning with that 20 votes. The win 20. Yeah,
Josh had the most.
Won.
Oh,
and
you did.
Then the I don't know what you call it, the admin of the page said that he lost the post, couldn't find it, so he just put up some other random picture. So I apologize to the 20 or 21 people that voted for me. It was I appreciate the support, but it was all for nothing.
Eric says planning Moab and no Ben.
Yeah, Ben is at a concert tonight, I think. So
those Monday night concerts,
he's not the main attraction.
Is he a Swiftie?
No. Who can afford to be a Swiftie? Ben definitely isn't a Swiftie.
Well, it's clear he's not putting money into his 4Runner.
He'd have a lot nicer 4Runner if he was a Swiftie, I'm sure. I think all the Swifties would be driving 5th gens also.
Yeah. That could be.
Decked out 5th gens.
If Ben tried to buy Swift tickets, there would be teardrops on his guitar for sure. So, what about you, Aaron? Up to anything good?
Hang on, wait, hold on just a minute. I have to make clear that this tonight, it says Josh winds up his window, and I did successfully roll up my window in my Frontier. Just had to make sure I put that in there. It's up now.
Is that like a Nissan thing where you're worried about windows?
No, it's not. It is a truck thing, though, when you go on so many mudding trips and you get so much mud packed down the door that the windows don't go up anymore. So I took apart the door and got the mud out of the tracks and everything. And now it goes all the way up to the top.
So I might have you do some maintenance on my Nissan when we meet up in Moab in a few months, because mine are really slow.
Yeah. They're not too bad. If you just take your one hand and pull up on it while you have the button, that speeds up the process quite a bit.
It does, but you have to do that every time. And it's the passenger window, so it's hard to reach across, push the button while you're driving on the freeway, you know.
Yeah. Sometimes I have a problem with mine where if I push down on the switch too hard, it just rolls all the way down or rolls all the way up. Super annoying. You got to just do like a half one if you want to bump it. But other than that, like it's Toyota's like it's
Just goes down so fast.
Anyway, Sam wants.
What have you been up to?
Sam wants to know if your glass is scratched from all the rocks and dirt. Mine isn't. My windshield's broken, but none of the side windows.
My glass is definitely scratched from all the rocks, but it has that wonderful like nails on a chalkboard sound when you roll down the window.
Oh,
so it matches your paint.
Yeah.
It's custom.
Yeah, I have. We got the classic Oregon pinstripe out here, and I have a lot of it. How's your Nissan running, Aaron? No, you go first. Okay. I want to hear about your truck.
Next. All right, so got that grounding kit on. I got a chance to drive it this past week, and it's performing as it used to, flawlessly. I still have 2 lights on, and I should have uploaded that photo. Give me 1 second. There are 3 ABS codes. They're in the ABS system. One is a steering angle sensor circuit, and then a controller failure. So I haven't looked those codes up yet, but she's driving good, so I might just ignore it because it works. I don't know. We'll see. But since I grounded it, it seems to be working good. And while I was out in the garage tinkering, I showed you guys on the show about a month ago, I had an anonymous person send me a couple brackets from a company called Leroy Engineering. And I got those installed. So this is a before picture of driver side control arm, upper and lower control arm, and the spindle. And you can see stuff is just kind of zip tied on there. And then this is the after photo. The brake line still goes across. That's an extended brake line, and it's fairly tight. But the ABS line is tucked up nice and neat inside of the spindle and zip tied to the top of the control arm. So you can't see the bracket in there because it's black and it's in a shadow, but there's a nice little bracket that I'm testing. I'm a product tester. So
you have the prototype.
One of them, I'm not sure.
Yeah, one of the prototypes. So we want him to go out and try to break it so that when it does, he has to pay for the replacement parts on the Nissan, not us. Because if I have to test it on my own vehicle, then I have to pay for new speed sensor wires and all that.
Things that break, yeah.
So just go and test those out for me and let me know how they work.
Yep. I haven't driven it since I've done that, but turned the tires and everything's nice and good and clearanced. I reinstalled my muffler. I didn't get an after picture of that one, but here's the before picture. So you can see I was literally just driving around with my collector Y and no muffler after that. This was a skid plate photo I sent to Josh, but that's how I've been driving the truck. I slipped the muffler on, but there's nothing supporting any of the exhaust. I think it's supported by the headers only.
Yeah, the headers are supporting it. I think there's probably a little ground strap on the driver's side too.
The headers are supporting everything. There's no, in fact, right at the end of that collector, there's a little weld mark where there was something that it must have broken off in my wheeling. So I slipped the muffler on, but I'm going to take some baling wire. I ran out of time.
That is the correct fix.
But I'm going to put some, I'm going to put the baling wire on there temporarily because I'm going to drive the truck to work on Friday, which is an hour drive each way about. Yeah. And
temporarily.
Nobody puts baling wire on. It's like, it's a permanent fix, Aaron. Like, nobody says that. They always say it's temporary.
No, because once it's done, it's definitely going to go to the exhaust shop because I want them to extend this collector by 2 inches so it'll stop my muffler from rubbing on the frame. And then I'm going to have them put a turn down tip after it and then put some hanger brackets on it. So
are you going to have them make those hanger brackets a little bit shorter just to get that muffler a little bit higher so it stops catching on everything?
I don't think I can. So I don't think there's any way to clearance it. So maybe I just need some glass packs or something not so big. I don't know.
It's possible. If you thought about just taking like a lead hammer and smashing the underneath of your truck up a little bit, that's how Toyota guys clearance their fenders. You just smash all the pinch welds, you know.
Josh says to take it to our buddy in town, Christian. I hate asking friends to do work for me. So, and my guess is that an exhaust shop maybe has the right tricks for the right hanger stuff. I don't know. Because I've put some exhaust hangers in before and they've broken, and just weird stuff has happened. So I was hoping that a professional would do it. And I've had a professional do work for me before and he did really good work and he was not expensive. So
did you hear that? Josh Eisen, he just said Christian wasn't a professional. That's why he doesn't want to do it.
I bet you Christian would also say he's not a professional.
Still.
Samuel, I don't know who you are, Samuel, but I appreciate your comments. He says just delete it all. And I've literally been driving with just that Y pipe and it's glorious, but it does drone after a while. So, and I don't think the cops like it.
Aaron, I don't know if you ever checked for fitment, but on a lot of engines, you just flip the headers so they go forward and then 90 them up out of the hood.
Or straight to turbos.
Yeah, zero
straight to turbos. That's actually the next step. They can go straight to turbos. Good point.
Yeah. Well, hey, your VK's already got forged internals. You're good to go for boost, man.
And then we go with dual Mongolian motor manglers, some big Wuhan windmills sticking out of the hood.
All right. Well, the last thing I've been doing a lot of 3D printing. You can see I've got a stack of filament here and some more filament up there. One of the latest things I did was I printed this little part right here. It's so little I can't even hold on to it. This little part right here, it's a windshield wiper cover for an FJ Cruiser. Pretty fancy. And then this little part right here, it's a little tab that you grab onto to close the sunroof on your MR2. So,
what are that, PLA or ABS? Or?
PLA plus.
PLA plus.
Is
PLA plus UV stable?
It doesn't matter to me. It's not going on my rig. It's going on someone else's. and if it isn't, we just print some more. Why does it matter?
Yeah. How many of those windshield wiper nut covers did you print out?
I've got a total of 7.
7. So
two of them went in the trash.
If they make it a year a piece, that'll get me into my mid 40s. So we'll be all right.
Yeah, and I printed some other stuff. I've been printing. My daughter's got a birthday coming up. These are dragon eggs, and they unscrew. So the 3D printer prints threads.
But is there a dragon inside of it that you print out?
I've been printing a dragon. I can go grab that later and show you guys. But there's they call it a print in place articulated dragon. And it's all flexy and it literally fits into this egg. So I'm printing a bunch in a bunch of different colors to give away to the kids who come to the birthday party. So
my son, it's got to be the same thing, but it's a little dragon lizard looking thing that's been printed in an egg like that. And his is kind of shiny. The way they move, he puts it on his shoulder and just walks around. It looks real. Like the way it lays across it. Like people are like,
nice.
They're pretty cool.
Sam says he has a RAM arm out of PLA Plus in his Jeep, and it's held up great. I don't know what a RAM. Oh, probably for like attaching its cell phone, like a RAM mount arm. I was thinking like
Sam.
like a
introduce
steering
Sam's
RAM.
a buddy.
So like steering RAM out of PLA.
What we're going to work on next, Aaron, is now that I know that your printer works, I'm going to send you a list of RC car parts for you to print out.
You're gonna have to get in line because there's a few things that start with the letter 2 and end with the letter A that I want to print next after I'm done with all my daughter's stuff, and then I need to print some stuff for my son too. But
are you gonna print me out one of those gendered triggers?
I don't know. I've not looked that up yet, but I found a great website today to do some resource looking. So yeah. Control Pew, by the way.
I don't want any of those non-binary triggers. You know, I want one of those, I want one of those gendered ones.
Yeah. Let's see. That's pretty much it. I was happy to get out and drive the truck and have it work well. It's fun to have it back in what I think is working order. And then Friday, I mentioned I'm taking it to work. After work, I'm going to meet up with the guy to test fit the Bronco wheels. So fingers crossed that it's a good fit with the Titan hubs that I'm running. So we'll find out.
Do you know what the offset is on those?
Negative 55, or is it positive 55?
Well, negative if it's inboard.
It's inboard, yeah. So it's positive 55, yeah. The hub face is really towards the outside, so it's not a deep dish wheel. It's very shallow. It's all the way towards the outside, so it's positive 55.
Gotcha. I get the offset and the backspacing and all that stuff mixed up because I feel like negative would mean inboard, but it's the other way around.
You would think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Coy, how about you? What you been doing?
I went and bought a little something. I got basically a turkey deep fryer / fish fryer. So, I mean, you're all familiar with what a turkey fryer is.
How is this off-road related?
You of all people would ask. We've been talking about having a camp trip that we only bring 3 things: Tums, heartburn medicine, and deep friable foods.
And the oil and the oil for it.
Well, I was going to say 3 edible things. I technically are eating a fair amount of the oil, I guess. But I mean, so 4 things. Yeah. Peanut oil.
Oil, yes.
So I bought the fish fryer version because all the turkey fryer ones at Bass Pro Shop have like a 15-minute wind up timer on it for you to babysit it all the time. And I'm not interested in that. So I brought the fish fryer version and then just bought a giant stock pot to go with it. I made 4 gallons of corn chowder Saturday. It may have been excessive, but I needed to see how it worked. And it was delicious. I'm an excellent chef, apparently. But I haven't tried the deep frying out yet, so we do need to get a good camp trip going and bring all the Hot Pockets and mozzarella sticks and, et cetera, et cetera.
I see Josh's buddy is a wimp and can't stay up late. He's already leaving. Says, have a good night, guys.
Sam works at a medical facility and he has to get up at like 4 or 5 a.m. So I don't blame him.
Oh, that's rough. I know it. I'm just harassing you.
That sounds terrible.
Thanks for joining us when you did.
Last night, my wife, she was trying to do something online and accidentally bought something she was looking at and then was trying to return it and woke me up. So I was kind of up really late anyways. And then when I woke up, I realized the time changed, not in my favor. So I had like a solid 4 hours in last night. It was nice.
You know that the time changed Saturday night, not Sunday night.
Yeah, I don't know. It was horrible.
You didn't find out about it until last night. You didn't find out about it until 24 hours after it happened.
Exactly. I didn't.
Yikes.
It was not a lot of sleep. Chuck Holt says you got to try deep fried bacon. How arrogant.
Okay.
think that I haven't tried deep. Have you seen my body shape? Obviously, I've tried deep fried bacon.
Have you tried deep fried nacho cheese?
No, I haven't.
Well,
I mean,
I feel like that's something that you should do because they have deep fried cheese, and you always talk about their nachos and cheese.
The nacho cheese, I feel like it would be better to put the nacho cheese inside of like a mashed potato ball or something, and then deep fry that. You know,
as I Google that, Google is suggesting deep fried nacho cheese balls. So
yeah, like there's. I'm not
crispy queso bites.
So you put nacho cheese inside of a ball of potatoes, and then you wrap that in bacon, and then deep fry it.
That's not bad. You guys ever had homemade donuts before?
Yeah.
That's a thing. That would be delicious.
My mom made them when I was a kid in a
that's exactly the
pot of oil on the stove.
That's exactly how my mom made them as well, with one of those little thermometers stuck in it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I think like in like a chopstick or something.
Yep. Did she make round ones or the twisted ones?
Made traditional round donuts and then also donut holes.
My mom always made like the twisted ones because you just drop them in, and when they're done cooking on one, they flip themselves because they like swell or float. So yeah,
that must have been technique. It wasn't out when I was a kid.
You just weren't poor enough to. It sounds like our parents were like these legendary homemakers. It's just real donuts cost $1, so that was money.
Yeah. That's it. You just bought a deep fryer.
That's really all I did. Is I bought a giant deep fryer. I thought you'd be more excited, honestly, Aaron.
I am. I just wanted to make sure before we transition that I wasn't cutting you off.
Oh no,
that you didn't do anything else.
We'll talk about it more. I have more ideas.
We got to start a Google Doc and we'll just start jamming things into this Google Doc. It'll be pages. It'll be the longest document we've ever made.
You ever had Navajo fry bread?
No.
I've had fry bread, but I've never had it specifically from the Navajo Nation.
That's better that way.
Okay. Well, we don't have any listener feedback this week because nobody called our 605 spotter hotline to tell us their zombie apocalypse rigs. I did talk to some people in person about it, but none of that's going to get aired because nobody called our voicemail line. So we want to hear from you guys. Make sure you're calling that number. You can leave us you can like drunk call us Friday night at 2:00 in the morning, or you can call us when you're in the bathroom hiding at work. Call us when you're in the bathroom hiding at work from working, like you're in the stall and there's just a giant echo in there. Just call us. Tell us what's going on. Tell us what you've done to your rig. Tell us who you think the best host is and why it's not Ben. Like, just let us know what's going on. So Eric says that I've had macaw fry bread. That's very possible. I've been to the Indian reservation up in Nia Bay several times. Yeah. So call us. Use that number. Call us. Have some fun on the voicemail. 605 spotter. We also want to thank our sponsor, Patriot Patch. Head over to patriotpatch.co and check out their selection of great patches, shirts, cleaning mats, signs, and stickers. You can also join the Patch of the Month Club for $15 and receive a patch, matching sticker, and artist proof each month.
Have tire troubles ever left you deflated? Colby Valve has got you covered. Ever have a valve stem leak? Colby Valve makes reusable and easily replaceable valve stems that don't require you to remove your tire from the wheel. They work with your off-road rig, ATV, side-by-side, commuter vehicle, or even your tractor. Never be left stranded again because of a busted valve stem. They also have a tire repair kit for those punctures that keep you away from doing your favorite thing, wheeling. Make sure to check out colbyvalve.com or ask for them at your local off-road products store.
Let's do the news.
Yeah, let's jump it. Let's burn through this. We got a lot of Moab planning to get through. All right. Yeah. So our first episode or news article here is brought to us by The Drive, and it is titled Broncos Get a $1,300 severe duty steering option to keep the tie rods from snapping. The Ford Bronco follows the old school off-road formula in a few key ways. You can spec it with huge tires, a front locker, and even a crawling gear. But what's decisively more modern about the Bronco is its independent front suspension. There's no solid axle found there at all. IFS is meant to provide a better ride and better high-speed performance, although it does have a weakness, and Ford is trying to help with that weakness because they are notorious for the only way to get new tie rods was to buy a new Bronco for about a year. So, yeah, they're trying to remedy some of their tie rod meme situations. Although this kit costs $1,300, a Ford ProCal programming tool is also required to complete the job. So that adds about $495 to the total price. So you're pushing $2,000 to get this on your vehicle at this point for extra heavy duty tie rods.
Wait a minute, a programming tool.
I'm guessing that's the cost of having a 4-wheel alignment after you have your tie rods. That's my they put those on.
Doesn't this replace the power steering pump or power steering rack as well?
Oh, I don't know. You're telling us the news here. Let us know.
The rack, as I understand it, it replaces the rack. The $1,300 setup sold by Ford Performance that was first spotted by Ford Authority includes a higher torque motor with an improved reinforced steering casting from the Bronco Raptor. That's the big boy that comes with 37-inch BFG tires from the factory. So that's almost 35 since they're BFGs. Also sold as part of the kit are stronger inner tie rods and a reinforced outer tie rod with increased deflection ball joints. Does that mean there's just more slop in the ball joints that can move around? Like, what's increased deflection mean? I'm not an engineer. Josh, tell me what that means.
Well, clearly, no, I get nothing.
Oh, okay.
Well, thanks. Well, I mean, increased deflection would be how much it's amount of move before it actually bends. Essentially, before there's a word that's not working in my brain right now, but
maybe the ball joint just it's got more movement in it.
Oh, like so you can have more articulation and whatnot. It's possible.
Yeah.
Anyways, the goal is to provide more articulation while strengthening the steering system as a whole. And if you own a 2024 Ford Bronco Wildtrak, then good news, your vehicle already has this upgrade. So it doesn't cost you an extra $2,000. It's part of the Haas 3.0 suspension system. But if you own a 21 to 23 Bronco 4-door base, Big Band, Outer Banks, Black Diamond, or Badlands without the factory Sasquatch package, then bad news. These parts won't even fit your vehicle. So
what?
This is actually
what?
They're only fixing this problem moving forward. I like how they did that. They're like, hey, we found a pretty big issue. If you like to wheel these rigs that we made for wheeling, we'll just fix it from here out. You other guys, nah.
Oh, man.
As it is, the Broncos front end is plenty tough for most people. You won't overstress it driving around town or to Home Depot.
That's true.
But for people who beat their rigs off-road, this is a great place to start, especially if you don't need to shell out $4,000 for an aftermarket kit. It does seem, while $2,000 is insanely expensive, considering it's an entire new steering rack and all the others, that seems like actually a pretty good price when you think about it. That is actually
does that include the install, or is that just the parts kit?
I think that's just, well, it's $1,300 for the parts and $450 for the programming, and then I assume another $2,000 to install it. But aftermarket ones aren't in counting the install price either.
Wow, that's tough. That's tough to swallow. I feel bad for the Bronco guys. I guess I'll make sure that when and if I do buy a Bronco, it'll be a 2024 or newer Wildtrak. Tyler says that's what a PSC Hydro Assist kit costs. So keep that in mind.
But does the Hydro Assist put stronger tie rods in?
No, it bends the tie rods more efficiently.
Yeah,
I would assume that the hydro assist is only for solid axle vehicles.
It is.
So if someone had a solid axle rig and they wanted to get a hydro assist, it's a similar cost to do that upgrade.
Yeah, or they could just get a Nissan, because that's about the same cost. Actually, you could just add a Nissan to the fleet.
You could just buy a Nissan for $4,000.
Yeah.
That's actually true.
Ouch. All right, our next news story is also from the Drive. It's titled "Tesla Claims Cybertruck Rust Spots Are Normal." The headline's a little misleading here. So not long after the Tesla Cybertruck launched, owners began reporting corrosion spots on their trucks' stainless steel bodies. With no official explanation, the rust-looking dots snowballed into a debacle that has been covered by many major mainstream media outlets. That's a lot of M's. The rust reports began earlier this year with posts on social media and Tesla owner forums showing small reddish-brown dots on the surface of the Cybertruck bodies. The community attributed these blemishes to fine iron particles scattered on the vehicles during manufacturing or shipping. Tesla said it's surface contamination that can be cleaned off easily. And they suggest using Barkeeper's Friend to clean it off, and it'll... and then there's something called CitraSurf 77 that can also loosen the deposit and simply wipe it off. If there's anything stubborn, use a blue non-scratch Scotch-Brite pad, and it won't even leave any marks in the metal. But the widely recommended cleaning products may not be a perfect solution. Many owners have reported using the cleaner successfully, but some CybertruckOwnerClub.com users weren't so lucky. A guy named Raxar, Raxar, says, I used BKF for the, I don't even know what that is. I used BKF.
Barkeeper's Friend.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a burger from Burger King. Is the Burger King fancy or something, the BKF. I used BKF for the spots on my Cybertruck, and it seemed like at first they went away, but I'm noticing they're still there and now and the next day. Really weird. Another user reported that they were told by a Tesla service center that the spots were corrosion and that Tesla even has an official procedure to service it. I'll be honest, I think Tesla is selling and delivering these cars before they were prepared. I do think it's rail dust or outside contaminants. I don't think Tesla told the delivery centers how to properly clean them before delivery. Due to the corrosion resistance of the stainless steel, it is highly unlikely that these are actually rust spots, regardless of the source. And they aren't going to rapidly compromise the body. However, it is still embarrassing for Tesla, which acknowledges the body's sensitivity to corrosion in the owner's manual even. Tesla advises Cybertruck owners to immediately clean the bodies of their trucks of corrosive materials encountered in everyday driving conditions, such as oils in the skin. So don't touch your own truck or use gloves.
Well, car enthusiasts, if the contaminants on the surface are similar to what you get on wheels from like your brakes, so if you could use like a wheel cleaner.
I want to know how many of these people were parked under a tree and like, man, look at these brown spots all over. It's rusting. And then they wipe it off and they come out the next. Oh, it's back again. Like, how much you want to bet? 90% of this is pitch.
Bird poop. Car enthusiasts aren't strangers to such cleaning products, but they contrast with the reasoning behind using stainless steel in the first place. It's not supposed to need this kind of maintenance. Cybertruck fans love to boast of the body's resistance corrosion, but it clearly isn't holding up the way a Ford F-150 with a painted aluminum body does, and it's even heavier. So they're saying things like maybe some welding that might be happening in a factory and there's iron particles in the air and it sticks to it, or they mentioned the rail. So if they're being delivered by rail car, that's steel on steel on the wheels. And then when brakes are being used, maybe there's particles flying. So they, who knows?
If I were whatever Tesla, else was in the rail car beforehand.
If I were Tesla, the last thing I would do is admit that my cars are being delivered by rail. Like, hey, you should buy our super environmentally, supposedly friendly electric car because you're green. Anyways, we're going to load this on a locomotive and
locomotives are all electric. No, they're all electric though, Coy.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Powered
100%
by
electric, powered by diesel
motors.
Yeah. So there you go. Lifeline Fab says, isn't the entire Cybertruck kind of an embarrassment for Tesla? The jury's still out on that. I'm hoping that they do well, just because there's a lot of hate going towards Elon's direction that I feel is undeserved. So I want him to have a win.
For me, like, oh no, maybe it does rust a little bit. Remember the video where they beat a Porsche while towing a Porsche? Like, I'll forgive some things for that kind of stuff, like,
yeah, there's some pretty exceptional performance coming out of him as well.
Yeah, that was fun to see them towing a Porsche and beating a Porsche. All right, let's jump into the main topic. Let's do some live Moab planning with Josh. So if you are new or haven't heard, the three of us are going to Moab, plus some more of our friends, some of which who are in the comments here. We're going to be going in September. So we're like, let's kind of do a show where we hash this out, plan it out live with the listeners. Maybe they might have some ideas, some places we should go, camp, eat, sleep, wheel, whatever. The parking lots where we should bring the Toyota guys to get their vehicles fixed while we're in Moab. Just the usual things, the best places to repair Toyotas, the body shops and things. So yeah, so we're going to do it live here.
It's always an
O'Reilly. Then as we do it live,
all the Toyota
we can help. We can help all the listeners determine how they should not plan their trip by doing this.
Well, that's true too. Yeah, we might give you some ideas of things not to do.
Josh Eisen says, "Come on, I'm going to be honest, Josh. You should bring a few tie rod ends. You jumping straight to 37s there. This could be a learning thing for a lot of us. I would bring a couple extra parts."
Yeah. Josh is already clowning on us. Yeah, the three of us on the show right now are all towing our rigs. So,
well, I mean, it's possible we could end up towing someone else's rig. Like, that is the nice thing about having a few trailers. Like, if Josh or anybody were to break, like, hey, you can just put the gas in my FJ and drive it back, and I'll tow your rig. Like, it doesn't really matter.
Go straight back to Ohio.
Yeah, not you. You gotta bring back what you brought.
I have some.
Yeah, no trading out, Josh, for somebody else's rig. Josh says he did a Heim joint conversion, or I don't know if he did or is doing, but Josh is known for putting Heims and things. Josh, make sure you tighten those bolts down on them high joints, baby. Loctite, cotter pins, whatever it takes. So I'd hate for you to lose a bolt on the trail.
I would hate for Aaron to deliver a bolt to you and then it end up in pure carnage again. Aaron, like, giving you a bolt is not good.
Yeah.
So we are going September 8th to the 14th is kind of the dates that
now everybody knows when we're going.
They're all going to pack in there to see us wheel.
Everybody's going to come and be like, "Oh, the off-road podcast guy is going to be there. We're going to show up and wheel with them." Go ahead and do that. You're free to come join us.
Yeah, good. But I need more friends.
We won't tell you what trails we're on. You'll have to find us out there.
Yeah, let's follow the sounds of CV axles breaking.
Aaron dragging his muffler on the
ground. All the sound of an open pipe VK. So 8 to the 14th is kind of the dates we got set, and me and Aaron are going to leave on Friday the 6th is the plan. We'll leave probably after work, or I'm not sure if I'll take that day off or not, but we'll leave midday or so afternoon and get hopefully 5-6 hours into the trip and then get there afternoon Saturday, which would be the 7th. And then either we'll talk about camping in a minute, but we'll either use that extra night, me and Aaron, to drive around and scout out and find a dispersed spot, primitive spot, or we are talking about maybe reserving something. So we'll talk about that more. And then Josh, what's your plan?
So I've got about a 30-hour drive. So it's just a quick little jump down the road.
Not bad.
Yeah, it's only 1,700 miles.
You can do that in a day.
No problem.
Yeah,
30 hours in a day.
Yeah. Well, we almost could if we went through enough time zone changes. We could be able to get there.
Well, you actually
you're going to gain 2 hours heading our direction.
Mm-hmm.
So the key actually to do 30 hours in 24 hours is to do about 100-mile-an-hour average.
Yeah, I think so. Which with a 24-foot trailer is not a big deal.
Shouldn't be bad.
It's not. I've seen it done.
I'm driving a Chevy with a 6-liter, which is just another way of saying powerhouse.
You're going to get terrible fuel economy if you're going 55 or 155. So you might as well go faster.
I did a test on this just this past weekend when I went down to Kentucky. So I went super calm and easy and just said, let's just see what the mileage gets. So I stayed at 60, 65, let those semi trucks blow my doors off, and I got 8.3 miles per gallon. Then I said, let's just try for this next tank. Just go for it. Let's do 70, 75, pass those semi trucks back up again. 7.9 miles per gallon. So it might be worth the extra 0.4 miles a gallon. We'll see what kind of timing we're looking at, but probably not. We're just going to haul as far as
what you got to do is get like a tow bar with a large electromagnet on it and just get closer and closer behind a semi and thunk. And then just put it.
Well, my father-in-law is coming with me because he's going to be my co-pilot. So I figured I'd just throw him on the hood with 2 of those towing the J hooks.
Yeah.
Just like grappling hook, just throw those. Yeah, right over that rear bumper.
You want to quickly fast you don't get drugged through the scales. Waymasters they're not nice at all. They're actually
he'll be the one getting he'll be the one that's overweight, not me.
They're very unkind. So, and I guess for us, it's about what, Aaron, you got her down for 1,059 miles
from my house here. Here's a Google screenshot. The way that we may end up taking because of traffic will be to go through Bend, then through Idaho down to Moab. And that is 1,059 miles. If we go up through the Columbia Gorge, it cuts off 21 miles and almost an entire hour going that way because it's all freeway as opposed to highway, and freeways are generally faster.
See, it's pretty much exactly the same either way for me because I'm just an hour away from you, and I'm basically 50 miles less, so it's right at 1,007 miles, something like that. Chuck Holt says, I sent you coordinates for where we always discuss. Oh, it's 3 point. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to read that online.
He's reading the coordinates online for everybody to know. Here's Chuck's secret Moab spot.
I will check that out after the show. And that, we'll check that out.
So a list of people
drive.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
If we drive and we have a paid spot, that I feel like that's pretty much guaranteeing one of us to have a mechanical issue on the way there. Because you already paid for something in advance. But if we drive and just find a spot, we won't be able to find a spot, but at least we'll be there. So it depends on how we want to think this through.
There are certain things you don't speak out loud. Thanks a lot. Okay. Now someone's going to break.
Get it out of the way.
Just you're doing a lot of this gum flapping about breakdowns. Certain things you don't talk about. All right.
Lifeline Fab says the gorge is only faster if you do the speed limit on Highway 20, and that is 100% true. Coy and I have come home from that direction, both towing trailers and passing everybody. So, yeah. Shoot. There must be something going on every weekend in Moab because we tried to miss stuff, but we're ending up with the Moab Music Festival happening during that time frame. But I don't know what that entails. Are they out on the trails, or Tyler, or what? I'm not sure.
Are the acoustics very good in the canyons?
They should be. So the list of people going, we've got 7 right now. Coy, he'll be in his FJ on 35s. I'll be in my Frontier on 35s. We've got Ohio Josh. He'll be in his Frontier on 35s. We've got friend of the show, Alan, and he's in a brick nose Bronco on 37s. We've got Oregon Josh, who is in a third gen Tacoma on 37s.
We've already decided the good Josh. That's how we'll have Josh and the good.
Yeah,
Josh.
we made that clear already. Yeah.
So,
gotcha.
We can determine who's the good Josh by who bends fewer tie rods by the end of the week.
Cody is going to be in a Jeep JK on 37s, and then we're going to have friend Rick, which isn't the normal friend Rick that most people on the show might know, who is in a Jeep JL. This is Nissan Xterra Rick, and he's on 33s.
I think we should differentiate this Rick by just calling him less old Rick.
Less old Rick. That's good. That's good.
I would like to note as well, this is a far out planned trip, and there are the majority of these vehicles are Nissans. Probably the first time this has ever happened before in a trip to Moab.
You know what? There's more Nissans than Tacomas or than Toyotas on this trip.
Yes, or anything else for that matter. Yeah.
Probably the first time in the history of a wheeling trip in the entire world that it's not a Nissan event and Nissans outnumber any of the other rigs. Wow.
Totally true. Totally true. So, I mean, you guys will have a lot to prove, obviously.
Yeah, we will.
A lot to fix.
Yeah, we will.
I mean, you guys have all heard of Gone Moab, or is it Gone Nissan or whatever, right?
Gone Moab.
You guys will have almost as many Nissans there as are there at Gone Moab.
No, they have a lot more than
that. There can't be more than 3 that show up for Gone Moab. You know it.
Yeah. No, they have a lot more than that.
Oh, Tyler in the comments says Gone Moab is now gone literally. So actually, you do have more.
That's true. That's true. Well, Coy, why don't you give us a rundown of some thoughts about camping, where we can do it, where you can't camp, that kind of stuff.
So first of all, you're not supposed to camp. I should say this. You shouldn't be just camping in the desert, dispersed primitive camping within 20 miles of town. And I'm not sure, it's a certain building. It's like the information center or something in town. So that gets you a ways out already. Now there are BLM sites and stuff closer and paid campgrounds, obviously, that are allowed, but just camping out in the desert, like a lot of us like to do, you're supposed to be 20 miles or more away. So some possible campsites that I'm looking at right now is like the Lone Mesa group site. It's out toward I believe it's Canyonlands. There's a aerial photo of it. There's, I believe, 5 group sites there. They run about $150 a night. And it's 20.
Can you fit 7 rigs and 3 haulers in that space?
Boy,
it's going to be a little tough. So that's what I'm worried about. I've been there. That seems a little tough. Now the gravel road you can kind of see coming up here. I've parked trailers and stuff there. So like our vehicles with the trailers, we could kind of just pull off the gravel road there. But yeah, a little tough. So, and that's 20 miles out of town of paved roads. So it's a good, 23 minutes or something into town from there. And that is on the kind of southwest side of town where all the big closures just happened. So there's kind of not that many. There's 2 trails out there, 1 or 2 trails that I think that are kind of what we could do. Let's Go Hunt says, would a factory 1997 Prado make the trip? It would make the trip for sure.
Maybe trip to the trails?
Or to an auto parts store on the way.
Well, I mean, I don't know that auto parts store are going to have all the Prado parts you need. I think you got to go to like a Toyota forklift shop to get motor parts for those diesels.
Wow, Eric in Texas is literally closer to Moab than we are. I thought that'd be farther away.
So there's an off-road park in Texas that I just found out about. That's cool. And it's closer. Yeah. That park is closer to Moab. So maybe I'll take another week off and just zip down to Texas while
keep going.
Keep it rolling. Just abandon my family and hit the road.
Like what's another week?
Like some kind of 80s movie.
Tyler mentions that he's going to text me some sites. You sent me one already, Tyler, and you did mention that you can sometimes park your truck and trailer in the arena parking lot, which is awful nice of them.
Josh Eisen says, let the record show I have done the Rubicon and didn't break any tie rods. It wasn't in that truck, to be fair. You weren't on 37th. I feel like you broke other things. But I'm not, this isn't crap on good Josh day. Like, I believe you're going to do well.
Well, just bad Josh has not broken any tie rods either.
No, you're not bad, Josh. You're just Josh.
Well, he hasn't done the Rubicon either, but, just haven't done any tie rods yet.
Then the next BLM site, and that one's, I think I said it's about 150 per night. That's for the whole group. So if we cut that, I don't know how many people we'll end up having. 7 rigs, you're going to have at least 10 people probably. Some people are bringing passengers and whatnot. So, that's going to cut it down to maybe $100 a piece for the week. The upside is there's a pit toilet instead of us pooping in a bag somewhere. It's that's an advantage.
That is an advantage, especially with the diet that we're probably going to have while we're there.
Well, you can also, Aaron, it's not just the diet while we're there. We're going to be driving 15 hours
That's
straight.
true.
Like,
that's true. A road trip all the way there too is going to come into play. Yeah,
it's going to be Doritos, Arby double, Arby. What's the Arby's classics? Like it's not going to be good.
We could be strategic about it and eat specific things that prevent bowel movement. So, like, you only poop once on this trip.
So I'm just driving there with a brick of Swiss cheese in my hand, just chopping.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Then we just have to decide on like Wednesday, I down a bottle of prune juice and like we stay.
Wednesdays are our down day.
You see all of us banging on the door of a outhouse. Come on, please.
It's customary to dig a hole, do what you need to do, and then bury it. But if you're out on a big slab of rock, do we like bring a jackhammer, or how do you?
No, you have a wag bag. You poop into a specifically designed bag.
I think I'll go with the jackhammer.
I do it African
it's really
style, but you poop in your hand and throw it at somebody, and then it's their problem.
It's just really weird.
That's going to be your problem real soon.
It's really weird having to hold the bag for your friend. It's just a weird part about it.
Yeah. Especially the way Aaron does it, because he does it from in front of you, so you have eye contact, and it's just way weirder.
So anyway, I was going to go on this trip, but I think I might have something else going on.
I to explain to him every time you can kneel beside or behind me. You don't have to look me in the eyes. Oh, shoot. Anyways, moving on. BLM site, Ledge Campground. They have 105 actual sites there. I should say that Lone Mesa, the last one we're talking about, that's just like 5 group sites. There's no single sites there, and those are reservable. So we can get on and reserve those. And here's the cool thing: right now, by next week we'll be able to reserve those. Like, so the start of our date is in the reservation window, but the end of our date isn't. That's for all of these.
I'm glad one of us is looking at that.
Lifeline says, if you guys do dispersed, I will bring a rafting. We'll probably have multiple toilets, so please do bring one. Or if somebody, just one of us with trailers, just wants to rent like a big blue Porta-John, like just strap it to the trailer and bring it. I should just steal one from work for a week.
I got a flatbed on my Frontier. I should just leave it there while we wheel, so we don't have that inconvenience.
Oh, so on the
trail, yeah.
Maybe I could be the first person to like drop a deuce while going up Hell's Revenge, Like, we could
like, how many people would be on the trail and they just see that glorious blue porta potty and they're like, oh, like it's here, it's my savior. Now I can go over there and use it and be like, it's $20.
We just got a Twitch comment, which I am interested in. Who would win in a fist fight, you or a life-size peanut M&M?
100%. 100% this guy, Coy.
I would definitely win.
Deep thinking.
Yeah. Thanks for reaching out to us, Lunafs.
I would love to prove that in person. If you know a life-size peanut M&M, bring it. Like we'll do a time and date. I'm down because I'm definitely gonna eat the Victor gets to eat the other one.
Yeah. Win-win. Sorry, I had to take a phone call. Are we still talking about going to the bathroom, or have we moved on to the next campsite?
Oh no, we decided to extend the bathroom talk the entire time. I was just saying that it would be nice if somebody just brought an actual like blue room honey bucket, strap it to the back of their truck on the trailer, and we just
who has a flatbed conversion on their truck?
We mentioned that.
Put a porta potty.
We already came up with this whole scheme, Aaron. We already got it. It goes on there, comes with us, and apparently Corey's going to drop a deuce while we go up Hell's Revenge. That's all I know. I understand it.
As I thought about it, as I think about it and say it out loud, I thought I would have the record like I'm the first guy to drop one while going up Hell's Revenge. I would just be the first guy to do it in a portable toilet. There's probably been a ton of people that crap themselves going up Hell's Revenge.
Yeah. I think we're going to need to see
photos. Think of the photos. There's just this Nissan.
Well, think about when the Nissan flips, and then you just see Corey come out, and there's just like this waterfall that kind of follows him. I don't think it'll be blue by that point.
How many people are going to wave us down and be like, "Hey, man, do you mind if I, like $20? Yeah, $20. You got 20?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And plus, we could put Jeep stickers on it and be like, "Yeah, we had to haul our Jeep out here, and it's just the blue room."
My XJ. Josh, you could get some gas money to get home with that.
It's a sweet Cherokee.
Pay for the campsite for us, at least, yeah.
All right. So the other BLM site is Ledge Campground. There are 105 campsites there. First come, first serve. 2 are group sites, and they are reservable. And once again, those are also just coming into the reservation window. By our next show, I would be able to reserve these sites for us already. This is out on Cane Creek Road towards Cane Creek Trail. It is just straight rock out there, like kind of a hot area. So no shade, no water, no hookups. And it's only 10 miles from town, but it is almost all gravel road back to town. So definitely
camp with no hook. I can't camp without full hookup.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying you're literally just camp out on a rock. Like it's gonna be hot out there. And then the last one I have here, BLM site Gold Bar Group Campground. This one has 4 sites. It's next to the Colorado River. Oh, I forgot to get this one picture. One of the group sites here has these like jungle gym looking metal apparatus that is made for hammock camping. It's a hammock hanger, so you can hang your own hammocks in it. And I think it holds like 6 hammocks. So that's pretty cool. And this one also has a shelter built in on all of them but one. So
what worries me about this one, you see right across the street where those 2 green dots are, there's a hiking trail there or whatever. And it seems like you're going to be really close to people who could pop into your camp right off the highway while you're not around and pilfer
even
your
worse people that drive Subarus.
This
one doesn't seem secure.
None of them are. I don't think this is any more or less secure than any of the others.
Okay. All right.
Honestly, and at least I feel like with it being next to the road, it's less likely that people mess with your stuff, because if you're just in the middle of the desert, somebody comes wheeling by and they're like, nobody's here. Nobody can definitely see us. Like then they just. But there's really not a big problem with that out there. People are really respectful, and there's not as much amphetamines easily purchasable, so there's less. Yeah, from what I hear, I haven't actually tried to buy any, but
they were more respectable until we told them where we were camping and when.
So nobody comes out and tries to strip the copper out of your vehicle while you're not there. Anyways, right by the river. It's 14 miles back to town, all pavement. And they do have shelters on almost all these spots. These are all 150 a night. Some of them, depending on which ones, are a little bit more. This one I liked because there is clearly a lot more parking there. And from what I can tell, we would be able to fit everybody in those spots. So that's kind of what I have. And then we have a couple different kind of primitive sites that we're looking at as well. Sorry, guys, we're not just going to shout out where those are at. If you'd like to share one with us, we'd love that. And we promise not to, tell everyone exactly where it's at on the show. So we appreciate that.
Lifeline says that stuff doesn't get stolen at Moab. It honestly really doesn't. So that's good to hear. I don't have a lot of faith in humanity, especially when it comes to just leaving my stuff unprotected. So,
all right, should we? Oh, we got
Montana Dirt Road says one place I've wanted to go but can't as I haven't hit all our legacy trails yet. I'm not sure.
You don't have to. You don't have to unlock Moab. You can actually skip some of those and just come straight down to Moab.
It's not like a video game.
You don't have to complete all the quests in your state before you get to come down there. Like you can definitely come down.
There's cheat codes. You can use the game Genie for that and just jump right to Moab.
Yeah. Bust out your old Game Shark.
Cheat code Nissan gets you right there.
Lifeline Fab says you live in Oregon. You shouldn't have faith in humanity.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
Yeah.
All right, trails to hit, guys. I'll bust out the first one here, and you guys kind of jump in whether this is like trails you guys want or not, and some of the people that are actually going in the comments jump in, and if you've done these trails in your comments, jump in. So the one that I really want to do, the trifecta, I did part of it last time. Actually, Lifeline Fab in the comments with me. He finished it out. We didn't because we were chicken. It's called the trifecta. So it's Poison Spider, Golden Spike, and Gold Bar Rim. It's sections of each of those hooked together to make like a 10-hour trail. It's very long. And Poison Spider's got a 6 rating. Golden Spike's rated as 7. Gold Bar's rated at a 6 as well. So there's a couple different ways you can do it. You can do it in combination with Rusty Nail is what it's called. That makes it much more difficult from what I've read. So we will probably not be doing that.
We probably will be
a little bit out of our, yes, Tyler, 10 hours without broken parts. So true. Also, yeah, 10 hours without breaking.
So it's saying that Poison Spider, Gold Bar Rim are both rated at a 6. Golden Spike is rated as 7. Hell's Revenge is rated as a 6, and you and I knocked out Hell's Revenge in 2 hours, including going up Hell's Gate. And I don't feel like Hell's Revenge is tough, and my truck is going to be only more capable this time than it was last time.
More of the obstacles on Poison Spider aren't bypassable. Like everything is bypassable on Hell's Revenge, even though we didn't bypass really anything but escalator. So there's that. You are forced to do any of the harder obstacles, I guess, for the most part. But Poison Spider is not that super difficult unless you make it that way. So, and the part, I don't remember, I think it was Gold Bar Rim that I did part of. Yeah. Seems like, I can't remember. I didn't do one of them, and it was, I'm not worried about it. And Alan did it, and he said we've been fine. We just have to winch over the last obstacle, which almost everybody does. So I'm not super worried about it, even though I haven't completed this. I think we'll be okay. A lot of these trails are really only as hard as you make them. I mean, some of the obstacles are mandatory, but if you're uncomfortable with a lot of them, you can just go around them. The long pickups are probably just going to take your tailpipes off before you even start.
Joke's on you. I don't have a tailpipe.
So yeah, and Tyler Brand says you'll make it just fine on trifecta. I have no doubts. We are talking. I talked about it with Alan, and I'm not 100% sure, but it would be pretty cool to camp one night on trifecta. It would be split it into 2 days and just kind of throw the cots out on the side of the trucks, bust out a propane fire pit, and just hang out there and watch people go by.
Yeah,
and stuff.
If somebody in the comments can answer this, I've heard both that you are allowed, and then I've also heard that you are not allowed to camp on the trifecta. So I don't know what the actual reason is for that. I mean, I suppose if you're broken down, I don't know what they're going to do.
You're allowed to wheel all night long. There's not like a curfew, so I don't.
Right.
I don't know. We'll have to look into that more. I think that
I'm
would
not
be really
camping.
cool.
I'm not camping. I'm taking a nap. It's been a long day. Just taking a nap. I'll be wheeling here in a couple more hours.
Couldn't we just like have just say someone's broke? Like if somebody
take
did
a tire, take a tire off and just lay it.
That might not be
waiting.
difficult.
We're in solidarity waiting for parts. Yeah. We're waiting for light to come so we can finish putting this tire on. Yeah, so it's a combination of 3 trails: Poison Spider, Golden Spike, and Gold Bar Rim. It says you are in for a long but enjoyable day. If you do the trifecta, plan on 8 to 10 hours round trip from Moab, depending on the size of your group and the amount of traffic on trail. A small group in the off season will be quicker. We're at the tail end of the season, but definitely still during the main season. So there could be a decent amount of traffic. I would say we don't do that one on the weekend. We do it on a weekday to try and cut traffic down.
See how many music festival people are out wheeling.
Yeah.
Maybe people avoid Moab because they don't want to deal with the music festival. Maybe we'll have it all to ourselves.
Possible, man. Possible. And then I got Top of the World here, and I want to do the Rose Garden Hill route. So Top of the World is rated as 6, and then there's a Rose Garden Hill Trail, which will take you to it basically goes up Onion Creek, Rose Garden Hill, and then to Top of the World. And that Rose Garden Hill is actually rated as 7. So Top of the World is a viewpoint on Warning Mesa. It has a spectacular view of Fisher Valley, Onion Creek, and the La Salle Mountains. This view is only part of a variety of landscapes seen from this trail. Warning Mesa is the east of Moab, south of Dewey Bridge crossing on the Colorado River. And then the Rose Garden one says, and I pulled all these out of like Red Rock 4x4 stuff for explanations. I'm not coming up with all this.
Is that where you're getting the difficulty level?
And I took the ratings. They have a 1 out of 10 rating there, or 1 to 10 rating, I should say. The best way to how best to explain the hill to an experienced foiler. Well, how often do you encounter a hill so mean that you get stuck going downhill? If you're familiar with that concept, then focus on the reality of first having to ascend this mean long hill, then after lunch having to descend the same hill. Lines change and it becomes a new ball game going back down. Lots of stuff in Moab involves slick rock shelves, have solid bases, letting vehicles climb crazy steep angles. Very seldom is ascent so strewn with seriously sized rocks on loose soil that dictate the approaches to really tall exposed shelves. Still fewer trails feature so long an ascent. Lately, nature has been adding some serious ruts caused by water damage from several wet winters and springs. Drivers will have to continually pick a good line up this nearly half-mile hill, which usually results into a serpentine path. Sorry, Rose Garden Hill has gotten really bad the last few years. Well, it's possible that we won't do it, but we'll see. This usually results in a serpentine path as the vehicle ascends the hill, depending on the vehicle's size, equipment capabilities. The choices get narrowed to a very narrow path during the upper third of the hill. The nastiness of the hill severely restricts the ability of a buddy to assist via a tug. It's not uncommon to have 4 vehicles stuck on this hill at the same time. Bring all your toys, high lifts, switches, pulleys, blocks, and a few friends to help them when you choose to run this trail.
It's good. Is there more than 4 of us?
Is there a bypass for that then, or?
Oh yeah, you drive off the cliff when you're done. Like if you can't handle it, you
bypass.
Yeah.
Okay.
You go directly to the respawn. You drive off the cliff straight to respawn. Tyler, what do you consider small tire rigs? By the way, that's what I need to know. And then why don't you bring somebody else read one of these?
Yeah. So you got Backwards Bill, which is a rating of a 5, which if Hell's Revenge is a small tire rigs is 35 and smaller. So most of our group is in the small tire camp there. Backwards Bill is rated as a 5, and if Hell's Revenge is a 6, then Backwards Bill, like I'm going to take the F-150 on Backwards Bill probably. Trail combines the second half of Wipeout Hill Trail and the first half of 7 Mile Rim Trail for more of a challenging trip that retains much of the scenic highlights of both. Participants need to be aware that all vehicles must ascend Wipeout Hill. There is no bypass. So, yeah, sounds fine. Maybe I won't take my wife's F-150 on that one. She might get mad.
Yeah. So 7 Mile Rim is not really challenging. It's very scenic and has a really cool. It has like there's slick rock, there's shells, there's a little bit of everything. Easily done on 33s or probably smaller. But the backwards bill part of it is taking it from the Wipeout hillside, and that is a very steep obstacle. It's kind of you can Google it. It looks pretty scary when you look at it, but I've watched enough videos on it at this point that I'm quite confident I can drive right up it. So,
all right.
I would like to do that, and that would be so that Lone Mesa campground. I mean, this trail is right by that, so we could do it as many times as we wanted.
Okay.
And then next trail is Hell's Revenge, which is rated a 6. The trail is 6.5 miles long. Most difficult obstacles are well out of the stock vehicle class, but the worst ones have easy bypasses. There are steep climbs and descents and some edges that are not for the faint of heart. It is also home to the well-known obstacles such as Hell's Gate and the Escalator that cover social media platforms with pictures and videos of people driving the obstacle and damaging their taillights. So I think I don't know. Of course, it's easy to say it now that I'm not there, but I really want to give the Escalator a try.
I do too. In fact, I saw a video of it today. There's a guy in a very flexy Jeep going up it, and he had no issues. Obviously, I'm not a flexi rig or a Jeep. I'm a lot longer, but
yeah, I saw a buggy on tons and 2s going up, and it was fine. So I don't see why I'm going to have an issue.
Yeah. No, I'd like to possibly give it a shot. I might change my mind when I'm standing at the bottom of it, but
most likely,
I also drove down Hell's Gate without knowing what it was going to be like to drive out of it, and right out of Hell's Gate.
To be fair, you pulled up to it and was like, "Wow, this is crazy," and I was like, "Oh no, I think we'll be all right. Let's straddle it." And then we drove down and we pulled up to the bottom of Hell's Gate. We're like, "Hey, come look at this." So we're like, "Oh, this is that." Glad we looked ahead.
We got to. There's no way out. We have to go up that. And I'm like, well, I've seen a video on it one time, and I'm like, I know you got to go high side when you get over here, so I'm just gonna send it. And I mean, we went there when it was 107 degrees, and literally our tires were practically glued to the rocks. So
awesome.
There was traction for days when we were there.
Tyler asked, Coy, did you state you're getting ratings from RR4? Yes, Red Rock, the Red Rock site, which I know a lot of their ratings are old and there's been trail changes and stuff, but so be it.
Lifeline says that his Bronco frame is permanently bent from Escalator. You guys are like trying to discourage us.
No, Aaron, no. I 100% believe you can make it up Escalator. I think probably we'll have good Josh spot you, and I'm gonna eat lunch while you do it because I have that much faith in you. I'm gonna sit in my chair and eat like a ham sandwich and maybe some cheese dip. Okay, for sure. Some
dip the sandwich into the cheese dip. Yes.
All right. I don't know why you thought that would be funny to say. Like, absolutely, I'll dip it in the cheese dip.
Our next trail is Porcupine Rim, also rated at a 6. This trail begins at a spring-fed water tank beside Sand Flats Road, about 9.5 miles from Moab, drops down to a ledge above. Can I say this word?
I think so. I mean, if that's the name. Like, I don't name it.
Okay, so forgive me.
Why do you think I took the one before this?
We don't get banned from YouTube. That's called Negro Bill Canyon. I'm going to say Negro Bill Canyon. It follows the narrow terraces along the upper slopes of the canyon. It then drops down to small drainage and begins a rocky ascent to the top of the rim and some of the best scenic vistas we have to offer. Lunch is usually planned for a picture rock, which is a slab of rock that juts out over Castle Valley. The trip retraces the route back to Sand Flats Road. Be advised, the majority of this trail is continuously bumpy, about 32 miles total. That sounds like a full day for just that.
Well, I felt like, like an early morning Hell's Revenge run. Then we knock out Porcupine Rim. And then we come back and we Hell's Revenge again. And then we go get dinner kind of thing, like it's all in the right spot. So
Yeah.
I'm not dead set on Porcupine Rim. I haven't watched a bunch of videos on it and stuff, but I always see the sign stuff and I wouldn't mind doing it. So obviously we're not gonna be able to do every single one of these trails if we plan to sleep and enjoy any leisure at camp, eating insane amounts of horrible food. But I'll let you.
The fact that it says be advised that the majority of this trail is continuously bumpy.
That's all trails, except for Hell's Revenge, basically.
Well, if it's like baby head rocks kind of thing where you're just sitting there,
that's
getting joggled
that's
around
actually
for hours.
That's at the end of Hell's Revenge. If you don't take the bypass at the end of Hell's Revenge, you've got a mile and a half or two of those baby heads, and it's awful.
Yeah.
It's like driving over a mile of volleyballs.
It's
not very enjoyable for me personally, but whatever. So that's one I threw in there. I'm not dead set on it. I don't know. It's in the right spot. Let's see. And Tyler Burrows says, got to hit Hells for a night run. At this point, I think I've done Hells more times at night than after the day, maybe. So,
we need a night run at Hells for sure.
Yeah. And then I'll jump this next one, guys. This is probably not a good idea, but Cliffhanger. It's got a rating of 8. This trail is the only vehicle route onto, I'm not sure if I'm saying this right, a mesa back. It's a rather high isolated area bounded by Cane Springs Canyon, Hurrah Pass, Jackson Hole, and a big loop of the Colorado River. If Cane Creek is full, the crossing can be impassable. The views, however, are unusual and spectacular all the way up the side of Cane Springs Canyon. Further along, the trail is high above the canyon of the Colorado River. There are some petroglyphs and other evidence of early visitation. Now, from what I understand, there's only a small section that's actually gives it the 8 rating. So,
isn't it at the beginning also?
I don't know. There's some spots at the beginning, but I think it's kind of in the middle. There's it's kind of a stair step with holes, and it's very narrow. There's a massive cliff on one side and kind of a nasty, nasty stair step.
Sounds great.
So it's an 8 rating. That's pretty difficult, I guess. I've had people say, don't do it. I've had people say you'll be fine. 35. I've watched a video of guys doing it on 35s. So Chuck Holt says, yes, it is, but it's pretty easy. So is it easy on 35s, Chuck? I really want to do this one, but I don't want to force people to do one that we think's too hard and then a bunch of people break and stuff. So I would like to try this one.
Yeah. I mean, we can always break up into multiple groups if there's 3 or 4 rigs that want to go do the harder stuff and then spend the day fixing each other instead of actually,
It never works out that way because we mock people that don't do the hardest stuff and they end up doing it. So
it's true.
So, I mean, you're welcome to if we decide to do this and you decide to do a different trail, Josh, I will not.
Well, no, I'm going to be the one out there breaking stuff. I have no doubt of that.
You for not doing it though.
Chuck says he did it on 35s. Lifeline Fab says that we should do the bottom of Moab Rim. You can turn around at the Devil's Crack. That first quarter mile is a mine trip. And Tyler suggests that we add Metal Masher, Steel Bender to the list.
Yeah, I was looking at those on Onyx, and definitely the Moab Rim looked like something. We're going to have to kind of calculate how many days we actually have. How much time each of these take.
We absolutely. I'm listing a bunch of stuff. We can't do it all in a week. I mean, I don't think. But I've never been there with just a group of guys straight wheeling the whole time. So possibly we do a little better than that. Aaron, why don't you take this next one?
Yeah. So the next one is Flatiron Mesa, rated at a number 6. Flatiron Mesa is south of Moab and is bounded by Cane Springs Canyon on the north, Hatch Wash Canyon on the west, West Coyote Canyon on the south. So like you're really in the canyon lands. That's kind of cool. And Highway 191 on the east. A main road has a BLM sign, but our trail leaves the highway earlier and it quickly gets four-wheel drive status on numerous old trails that reach Fire Canyon overlooks and provide some interesting four-wheeling. There are multiple obstacles that provide a rating number. Some have bypasses, some don't. If the Easter egg rock section is elected, once the excitement of squeezing past the rock has subsided, there is a harrowingly narrow section on a cliff edge that must be negotiated. So, I don't enjoy the cliff edges that much, especially if it's harrowingly narrow.
It's rated to 6, bro. Like, how bad can it be?
I mean, it's not hard to drive. It's not hard to drive on a narrow section, but like, how narrow is narrow? They're saying it's harrowingly narrow. I feel like that it's as narrow as that thing that Josh went over with his truck, and then half the road fell away after we went past it in Kentucky.
Well, do they rate difficulty by how scary it is or by how difficult it is? Because I mean, you could have a trail that's a level 1 that's terrifying, but it's just a straight line. So
I don't know.
That's exactly right.
Everybody says Black Bear Pass is super difficult, and it's like a dirt road with like some rock. So
and sometimes it's raining Jeeps, but
apparently.
Other than that,
I'll do this next one because I really want to try this. This is Cane Creek Canyon. I haven't only done a part of this. Me and Aaron did when we went there. We did part of it. Didn't do the whole thing. This trail follows Cane Creek along the bottom of its canyon, officially named Cane Springs Canyon on maps, between its mouth and the Colorado River at Highway 191. It runs in and out of the creek more than 50 times, but in one area climbs high on the canyon wall. When the creek is wet, as is likely to be in the springtime, there is mud and quicksand. After a storm, the creek crossings may be impassable. Wet or dry, plenty of brush grows in from the sides of the road, allowing for potential paint damage. Approximately 38 miles, 20 of them off highway. So I think we can do this. There is I think it's called Hamburger Hill at the end that we'll probably have to winch. I'm not, if Alan's there, I'm sure he can get up it, and then we can use him as an anchor. It's a nice house with 37. So,
that was the one that Coy and I did several years ago, and on our way in we met a Land Rover on the way out, and they're like, yeah, we spent the night on this trail. We had all kinds of difficulty. There was like brush jammed into their roof rack, but these guys were like overlanders loaded for bear. I don't know if they were even on 33s, and
it sounded like he was just at one point just driving through the brush and was completely off trail, trying to like make his own way. I don't
very possible.
But yeah,
how much
they got stuck in mud. Not a lot, but this trail has a lot of it.
We were driving into that trail and he was driving out. We're like, hey, how long did it take you to do the trail? And he's like, I've been in here for 3 days. And we're like, what? And he's like, don't do it. It's horrible. I was driving through, like, he was just like, we're like, it's supposed to take like 6 hours, man. And so we drove in a ways, but it was literally like 107, and we kept having to get out to spot each other. And at a certain point, we looked at each other like, "You just want to go run hills again?" And I was like, "Yeah." So we left. I won't say we chickened out, but we weren't at that. It was so hot, we just weren't having that much fun having to get out of the rig so much, and spot each other. But I didn't. There was a couple narrow spots, but the parts I didn't find exceedingly difficult. And from the videos I've watched, I don't think it's that bad, except for the hill at the end. So I'd like to try that. Yeah, I'm not doing Metal Masher in my street vehicle. Like, it's literally named Metal Masher.
But I looked it up. It was only rated like a 5 or 6.
Is it really?
Some of these ratings were rated a 5 or 6, and because of erosion and things,
back in 1972.
Yeah. I could be wrong, but I had understood Metal Masher was like serious biz.
Yeah,
I'm trying to look it up on Onyx.
Well, I threw those in the show notes so we could look into them a little farther because we got a couple different people suggesting it. So,
well, Tyler says Metal Masher is pretty easy, but great views. Tyler,
Steel Bender's an 8 out of 10.
Tyler, what do you drive and how big are the tires? Like, you gotta be honest with me here, bro.
Tyler's a Nissan guy.
Oh, you know what he drives?
Yeah.
Yeah, what is it?
Nissan.
The Nissan Frontier.
On 40s?
And he's also got an Xterra. He's also got a Jeep JL, so it's probably his JL. But
I love it when I'm talking to guys and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's no problem." I'm like, "What do you got?" And they're like, "Oh, first gen Toyota on 40s tons." And I'm like,
yeah.
"Oh, it was easy." Like you could see my, you can. I think they do it on purpose sometimes.
Yeah,
like, yeah, everything's easy on 40s. Well, I mean, it's not easy, but you know what I mean.
Well, we're getting a little long here. Let's. Oh, go ahead.
We're only going to get, if we're there, Josh will be there 5 days. Me and Aaron will be there about 7, but with break and camp and whatnot, I feel like 7 to 8 of these trails at most. And I didn't put Elephant Hill in here because I know if we camp on Elephant Hill, it's going to burn 2 days. And Josh coming that far to spend 2 days on one trail, I would feel bad. And I'll be back, but I'm going to camp on Elephant Hill one of these times.
Well, I mean, if we there's no saying we have to spend the entire time on Elephant Hill. If we do a different trail in the morning, we can always shoot over there, camp, and then I don't know how far away it is from the rest of the.
It's like a 2-hour drive from Moab to get to it, and you have to get a permit and stuff. It's a little bit of a deal. Like it's.
Gotcha.
I'm not saying no, but yeah,
that's fair. Is that a permit you can get like while you're there, or is that we have to get that ahead of time?
You can only get it like max of like 30 hours before or something. So you have to and one person can only buy 2 permits. So like everybody has to get their phones out and it's not that many permits they give in a day. It's like 27 or something, some weird number. So it'll say how many have been sold already and everybody gets their phones out and buys them at the same time. All right, guys. That's pretty much all the trails that we've got lined up that we're thinking about doing. Tyler Burns said Metal Masher has a lot of bypassable obstacles. I'm not saying no to Metal Masher, but I have to do more research. I had understood it was exceedingly difficult, but
if you're saying does imply damage.
If you're saying that it's good in an Xterra on 33s, then I'm doing it. Let's talk about food, guys. What are we gonna do for food on a lot of these trips that we've done in the past, where we do kind of a big group trip? We do a group breakfast and group dinner, and then everybody's on their own for lunch. It's always worked real good. I've had fun doing that.
Mm-hmm.
We come up with an ingredients list and all the meals ahead of time, and then everybody picks some ingredients, kind of brings them, and then they're responsible to keep them cold and whatnot. What do you think? That how we should do it? You're going to bring Tums? I mean, that's enough for you. I need at least one of those, and there's going to be, a lot of other guys.
Do you eat those things for breakfast, or what do you do? That better not be the breakfast that you bring, Aaron.
I just took some right now. Getting preparation for Moab.
Yeah, you got
the training process.
He's pre-gaming. Lifeline Fab says same thing. As much as I'd love an Elephant Hill camp trip, Coy's right, would burn up most of 2 days. So, Alan, you and me will definitely do that at some point. I'm trying to talk my buddy Ryan into coming to Moab one of these days. Maybe the 3 of us can do it someday, but one of these times, that's for sure one I want to do.
So, Coy, you have a pellet smoker that I bet you we can run off of a Jackery or something, and we could put some pork butt in it and let it burn all day while we're out on the trail, and come back and have sandwiches or something.
I'll need to do a little experimenting. I did get a Pit Boss cabinet smoker that since I'm towing there, like there's no reason I can't just stuff it in the back of the truck. Like you said, I feel like that's a good, if you're just camped out in the desert and somebody comes by and they're like, oh, let's steal this guy's stuff. But there's a cabinet smoker running. They'll be like, hey, somebody's there, So not only is it making you delicious meats, it's a theft deterrent. It's a double-edged weapon.
Or it's bringing people into camp.
It's like people leaving your TV
we're going to get there. We're going to get there and most of it's going to be eaten.
Nothing's stolen, but half of our pork's gone.
Yeah.
We could do something like that. And I have to kind of figure some stuff out because, like you are supposed to keep pulled pork moist and stuff and spray it down with some stuff. So I'm not saying no, but I will have to do a little experimenting on how to do a pulled pork where I'm not near it for 8 hours. That is the thing.
We'll have Josh rig up some sort of computer program that will spritz water using a windshield wiper nozzle, and we can just fill a reservoir and it'll just spritz right in.
Apple cider vinegar, but I mean, it really doesn't matter, I guess. But yeah, we could do that.
I mean, we don't have to use washer fluid, just the reservoir from a washer.
The other nice thing about bringing a big cabinet smoker like that, and I haven't tried this, but there's no reason we can't stick 4 pizzas in there at once and just bake them for dinner at some point. Yeah, pizza's pretty darn good. We all like pizza. Maybe we do biscuits and gravy for breakfast someday. Well, there. Guess who gets fresh biscuits? It's basically an oven / smoker, So
can we scrape the toppings off of a couple of the pizzas and just put them on one for this mega topping pizza, and then use the pizza to put the gravy and sausage chunks on and have biscuits and gravy pizza?
All right, hang on. Repeat that. Lifeline Fab, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, see you. We'll see you there either way.
Yeah, so you take the cheese and you take the pepperoni and the sauce off of a frozen pizza. So you're just using the crust, and then you just put the gravy and the sausage pieces on in its replacement and just have a biscuits and gravy pizza.
Bro, I can go to 7-Eleven right now and get a biscuit and gravy pizza. This is an actual thing that exists.
I thought I just invented something. Oh
no, I've had it.
Leave it to 7-Eleven. Yeah,
I can go there right now.
Going across the whole East Coast when we were up there were these big, everywhere, plump, ready to go, wild Black Angus beef things just wandering around the planet. They were everywhere. Or they have those down in Moab too, because we could just get one of those, take care of it.
You're saying
I can put it in the trailer during the day. Well,
I don't know. Go cattle. There's not much
cattle rustling,
but
live off the land a little bit,
I don't know if you've ever watched a a cowboy movie. You know what they do to rustlers, right?
No, these ones are wild. I saw them. They're just out there roaming around.
Wild.
That's not how it works, bro.
They belong to somebody.
Range, not wild. No, they still hang you, even for the wild ones.
Oh, the wild cows.
There are wild horses, and if you're man enough, you could eat one of those. The slow elk.
The slow elk.
Any other equipment, Coy, that you're thinking about bringing besides the pellet smoker?
I'm almost certain I'll do this, but I got a full size Blackstone griddle barbecue, flat top. I'm for sure bringing that.
You can make 30 pancakes at a time on it.
Well, I can cook scrambled eggs for 20 guys at once. Just we do burgers one night, nice. Just done. Bacon. I can do it all at once.
I like that.
There's no reason not to bring. I'm for sure bringing a full size 36-inch Blackstone.
Do either of you have a 1,000-watt range generator, a nice quiet Honda little guy?
I have the first one Honda ever made, and it's all that except for the quiet and nice part.
Perfect.
One out of 4 ain't bad.
Yeah, if we do have a generator available, I have a little guy, but usually where we go, I just plug in. But we have heat and air conditioning and all that kind of stuff in our trailer. So if it is freezing or stiflingly hot or whatever, we have a generator. We can, if we're going to embrace the full glamping experience, you got to have air conditioning.
Is there any meals that you guys are you got something in your head? Should we have a deep fried fish night? We do a fish fillet where I just fry a fish.
Ugh. No.
Wild Moab fish?
No fish. I want some deep fried hot dogs though. Maybe we do the pickle corn dogs.
Pickle corn dog? I'm into that. I'll try and make them and freeze them and bring them. And then obviously I'm going to bring the ice cream maker.
Please.
Classic at this point. What about you, Josh?
I can't think of anything because I'm just simple. I'll eat cold hot dogs and SpaghettiOs and MREs and Mountain House meals.
So. I thought I was simple. I at least go for warm hot dogs. I don't go for the cold ones. Like, let them sit in the car for a little bit and warm up to room temperature.
I know Aaron is saying that. I've never seen him not. I'm like, we always do these extravagant meals on our camp trips.
So it's because I go camping with you and you love to do that stuff. So I'm like, feed me, daddy.
I know.
Put it in my belly.
You're coming up with all these like, hey, can we do this? And I'm like, I think we can. Like, so I know you're saying that, but I've never seen you be like, hey man, let's just do Vienna sausages tonight. Take it easy. Never seen that.
Well, that's what my buddy Sam that was in the comments earlier. He's always for us. He loves to make it like this most extravagant food. So he says like, hey, if you want to bring food, I'll be like, yeah, man, I'll bring some hot dogs. And then he's like, well, maybe I'll take care of the food. And it's just like, yeah, you better do that. So then he's got like 12 pans going, and he's just making his like. He's the kind of guy that doesn't make food and then put a sauce on it. He like makes his own sauce for the food that he just prepared. So it's phenomenal.
I mean, I'll do that at home, but not while I'm camping. Have you invited Sam? Like,
I have. He decided it was he's not going to make it. Well, I think he would be all for it, but he's got a wife and a child, and he can't exactly leave the wife and small child at home.
Who says? Says who?
That's what I told him. Not work. I mean, I said, come on, whatever. But his wife said no. And apparently that has some
wife and children all the time. Like there's homeless shelters full of wife and kids from that exact thing. Like it can be done.
Makes a lot more sense when you see the condition that our country's in.
Tyler Burns says, bring them along. We made this a guy's trip. This is going to be a sausage fest. That's what the plan is.
Vienna sausage fest.
Oh.
If you guys have no other food things, I only had one more thing to talk about, and we've run long enough that I'm hoping that my wife isn't listening to the show anymore right now. So I got to whisper in case she is listening, but I don't think she's listening. Sometimes she tunes in, but I don't think she has an hour and a half attention span. So the idea, since I'm telling
crap about your wife before you get into the idea, in case she's listening,
the three of us are towing our rigs out there. I don't know if anybody else is going to tow the rigs. So we're going to have tow rigs out there, and I want to do a full-size invasion with our tow rigs out on Hell's Revenge.
Like
fins and things. No, I don't think we'll pull the trailers. That might be excessive. But yeah, I want to take my wife's F-150 out on Hell's Revenge.
I want you to take her F-150 on Hell's
Revenge. No, like we all got to do it. Come on.
Here's what I'll do. I'll hook my trailer to my FJ and then drive out there with the trailer.
You'll pull the trailer on
Hell's Revenge.
Hell's
Gate.
Actually, no, I can't use my trailer's way too low. It would never even work. But
I'll take light on that bad boy.
Aaron, you're borrowing a trailer, right?
Yeah, I'm borrowing a trailer, so I don't think I should.
Oh, that's fine. Use that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, my tow rig is four-wheel drive, technically.
Yeah. Mine's even got a locker.
Mine doesn't have locker.
Mine doesn't either.
Mine's also a long bed. Like, I'm towing with a 95 extra cab power stroke 4x4 as stock as it gets.
You'll have all that torque. It'll be fine. Coy, air it down a little bit. Yeah. We're going to do it. Let us know what you think in the comments. Full-size invasion with the tow rigs, or would we call it tow rig invasion? I don't know. Let us know. Hopefully my wife wasn't listening.
All right, guys. I had fun with this. A lot of people helped us out in the comments. We appreciate you. A couple of people messaged me some primitive campsites. Thank you very much for sending. That's extremely kind. It touches me that you're willing to send us some of that private info that you have. And be sure to tune in next week. We're going to have Alcan and a Grenadier. Am I saying that right? Grenadier? That's right?
Yeah.
Grenadier. So that'll be Andy and Mercedes Lilienthal are coming on. I guess they just did the Alcan rally in the Grenadier. So we're going to have them on next week. And be sure to tune in for that, guys.
And we also always want to say thank you to everybody who listens to us weekly, especially you guys who watch us live or in the comments, helping us out, helping us make the best decisions we possibly could. We really do appreciate you guys. Please share our show, help us grow. If you think about it, go to iTunes, leave us a review. That helps out there too. We should go check those. Maybe for next week we can check those, see if we got any in there. We really do appreciate you guys, and God bless America.
Don't forget to visit Patriot Patch and join the Patch of the Month Club. Check out our Gaia affiliate link for up to 40% off. Also, don't forget to head over to Warren Colby Valve and 4 Patriots to see all of their great products. We are a proud part of the Firearms Radio Network. Got a question or comment? Send it to us through our Linktree account or by searching for Off-Road Podcast. Also, you can listen to us live at overlandradio.com Mondays at 7 p.m. Pacific. When off-road, please remember to have fun, tread lightly, and be safe and courteous. Thanks for listening.
We're going to get matching swim trunks.
I think we should do matching Hawaiian shirts with like each other's faces on them or something.
Yes.